Okay, Amy, Christmas is right around the corner. What are you asking for?
Yeah, can you believe Christmas is almost here? It's so
No.
my blender broke
Oh
recently
no.
and we haven't replaced it yet. And I love making smoothies. Dave loves making smoothies. So
Ugh,
we have,
a smoothie loving couple. We
I
love to see
know.
it.
Yeah. So, but obviously getting smoothies every day can be expensive.
Yeah.
So I put on my list the BlendJet 2, which is a portable
Ooh,
blender, which is even cooler because you can take it with you. It's not bulky. It doesn't have to sit on your counter. All of
I
the
love
above.
that. Yeah, I know the BlendJet 2 is portable, so you can blend it at work. You can make a protein shake at the gym or even a margarita on the beach if you're feeling spicy.
Amazing.
Um, it's small enough to fit in a cup holder, but powerful enough to blast through tough ingredients, even ice and frozen fruit with ease. The BlendJet 2 is whisper quiet, so you can make your morning smoothie without waking up the entire house so Dave can catch his Z's.
That's really
It,
nice.
it lasts for 15 plus blends and recharges quickly via USB-C. And best of all, BlendJet 2 cleans itself. Just blend water with a drop of soap and you're good to go. I don't know if you've been on the site. There are also a ton of cute designs. I'm thinking that when my nephew is old enough, I might get him the one that looks like it's like branded for Toy Story, so it looks like Buzz Lightyear colors.
Oh, yeah, so cute. I saw they have
So
some
cute.
Disney ones. They've got Lisa
Yeah.
Frank for
Oh
our
my God.
demographic.
Throw it back.
We
Let's
love
go.
it. Yeah. So, what are you waiting for? Go to blendjet.com and grab yours today. And be sure to use the promo code that we have, which is GGS12, to get 12% off your order and free 2-day shipping.
Yay. And we're live.
Back with episode 58.
8. Can
58.
you believe? So we're
No.
almost halfway through season 2. Because if we
Wow.
do, 40 eps per season, we're almost to episode 20 of season 2. Actually,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wait.
I was like, wait, is that math
Yeah.
right? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
18. Yes. That's right. That
I'm
threw
like,
me
what's
off for a second, too.
what's 50 minus 18? Yeah, you know what? I love
uh,
paranormal things, guys, not great at math, so
hmm
let's not
That's,
dwell.
yeah.
Um,
Moving on.
so first things first, before we jump into our actual topic for today, Amy and I came across the coolest ghost video on Instagram, and we're going to share it, but like mind blown. It's basically of a baby in like it's like the like night cam from like a baby monitor, and the mom shares in the caption that the father had passed away and is like always worried so much about her child not knowing their father. And there's footage of this baby like being soothed by the father's ghost.
hmm
So
Yeah.
just know
100%.
that exists.
Yeah. That video was so sweet. And
So sweet.
could have been so scary if not
Yeah.
for the husband
Well, it
having
was
passed.
it was scary at first to me, like, also just because I find that those baby monitor cameras are just creepy looking in
Yeah,
general. It's like you're expecting to see something scary.
yeah,
And if they
It's like
look at the camera and their eyes are like raccoon eyes and you're like,
uh-huh,
"Ah,
yeah.
demon! Is that my
Yeah,
baby or is it a demon?"
no, that night vision
Um,
look is
yeah,
spooky.
I don't love that part, but
No.
the video is very sweet and super cool, and I think, like, just really ironclad proof that ghosts exist.
Mhm. Agreed.
Ironclad, okay?
Yep,
So,
and it was a pretty long video too.
it was
It
long.
wasn't just like a sudden blip of
Yeah,
something. It
exactly,
was
yeah.
distinct movement.
Really consistent, yeah.
Yeah,
So or persistent, oh, both. We
both.
will post that on our IG. I have it in
Mhm.
my notes so I don't forget because important.
Perfect.
And
Mhm.
you're gonna love how I'm gonna stretch this segue. Are you ready? Um,
Yes. Let's hear it.
Unlike their home that is occupied, we're talking about unoccupied homes that are on the market to buy. And they're haunted, you mother
Uh-huh.
truckers. So, listen, I am what I
Mhm.
am,
Yep,
and that's
that
what you
was
get.
good.
So, haunted real estate, if you didn't quite get it, haunted real estate. Understandable if
Mhm.
you didn't quite get it, but haunted real
Yeah,
estate.
yep.
So, with that, Amy's
Mhm.
first.
Yes. Okay, cool. So, yeah, haunted real estate. This was a fun topic.
Yeah.
Um, let's see, one of the first things I came across and thought to look up was
Mhm.
from the real estate agent's perspective.
Mhm.
And so I found this profile of a real estate agent in California. Her
Yes.
name, yeah, her name is Cindy Hagley, and she specializes in selling haunted houses.
Stop.
Yeah, and she doesn't advertise that, but people know
Okay.
her reputation
Okay. Spooky
because,
Sigley. Got it.
yeah, she has like a she has a little, I guess, link on her page that's called Past Life Homes, which is where the haunted ones go, I guess. Um,
I hope she put a ghost emoji on it.
yeah. I
Just
should have
nice.
checked it. I didn't check it out, but that's what this profile of her said. Um,
Okay.
and they also said that she has never gotten less than market value for a haunted house. So, way to go, Cindy.
Yeah,
Um,
damn Cindy.
yeah. But also, in the context of real estate, I guess haunted, the word haunted, pertains to both paranormal hauntings or it having like a haunted reputation, as in somebody
Oh,
was murdered there, something
I
bad
see.
happened,
Okay.
etc.
Bad rep.
Um, yes, exactly.
Feels a little
And
unfair.
yeah, I think, well, would you rather live in a house that has
Yeah,
like
you know what?
five murdered people
Yeah,
in it,
actually, no,
or
you're right. I mean, that's automatically, like, pretty haunted. Like that
yeah.
house in Idaho.
Oh my gosh, that case is
Like, can
baffling.
they arrest someone, please?
Please,
Like, it's
seriously.
so alarming.
Yeah, very. I saw, this is irrelevant, but I saw today there was some breakthrough that somebody spotted some people in the background of some body cam footage of a
Whoa.
policeman who had stopped some people in the neighborhood for
Okay.
being underage drinking. And they saw
Mm.
some little people in the background. So I think that's the next lead, but who knows?
Hopefully they figure
Spooky.
it the hell out. Yeah, very
I
spooky.
know. I feel like that house is just gonna have to be raised.
Just burn it
Cause
down. Just
yeah.
burn it down.
Sad.
And
So
don't build
sad.
anything on top of it. Just leave it
No.
an empty lot.
Yeah. Make it like a park or something. That'd be good.
Haunted Oz Park, yeah.
But at least no one's living in a park, hopefully. I mean,
"Mommy,
some people
daddy, who are those
do.
4 bloody people over there?"
No.
Screw it.
That's
Traumatize the neighborhood.
terrible. Yeah.
Sorry, I shouldn't be laughing
Terrible.
about this. This is, like, actually
No,
so awful, but
it is. It's,
you have to
nervous
make light of
laughter.
it, you know? It is, exactly.
Yeah, because what else can you do?
Exactly. Okay, sorry, back to
Yeah.
Cindy.
Okay, Cindy. So, let's see. I was also wondering if, because I saw in our notes that you had something about, disclosure laws. Do you wanna
Very
just
brief.
talk about that really quick here?
Well,
Because
yeah,
it
so
kind of
ye
is relevant.
totally. Yeah, so I literally only looked it up for California.
Okay.
And so this was, like, the quote I got from a professional, like, real estate corporate law firm called Shore Law.
Mhm.
And so this is just, like, a quick little blurb. The rules
Okay.
regarding disclosure obviously beg the question of whether a seller must really disclose haunting or paranormal activity. So not specific to murders. Like, if someone's died in the home, that does need to be actually, that seems to also be a little bit mixed, like, so long as it's, like, written down in the records somewhere, but, like,
Mhm.
the real estate agent, I don't think necessarily has to be like, "Hey, yeah, someone died here."
Yeah.
But that's beside the point. It's very gray. There's no clear answer on the
Mhm.
haunting and paranormal activity front. So, accordingly, the best way to answer the question is to answer a related question, which is what happens if the seller doesn't disclose these matters? The
Mm.
answer is that if the buyer wants to sue for non disclosure, the buyer will have to, one, actually prove the property is haunted or subject to paranormal activity, and two, prove that the haunting or paranormal activity somehow impairs the market value of the property. And these two things
Mm.
are exceptionally difficult for a buyer to prove.
Yeah.
So it's basically like a roundabout way of saying like you should disclose it. You don't have to, but if you're the buyer, like you get boned. But here's the
Mhm.
thing is that unless you're buying a house sight unseen, I feel like you don't like move in with no idea. You know what I mean? It's like if you like I feel like you get a weird vibe at the very
Yeah,
least.
right. Although there
Not
are
though,
so
like
many
parents
so
didn't
many
know.
people who go and then they talk about like, "Oh, it was just a few days
Right.
after we started living there or a month
Yeah.
after we started living there
Yeah.
that things actually start happening."
Yeah, I
But
guess that's true.
maybe that's for people who aren't very sensitive to
That's what I was
these
thinking, like,
things.
you and I would know. We would
Yeah,
know.
I think so. We'd be able to
Binks is
tell.
really just, like, putting his butt on my chest, and I'm not here for it. Can you just sit normally, please?
There we
He's mad
go.
at me because I left him for 2 days. There we go.
Oh,
Okay. We're good. We're back in the
rude.
good. Rude boy.
Okay. Well,
Cindy.
that yes, we're back to Cindy, and that does make sense for California, because
Mhm.
she's in California, and she, I guess, does always disclose to her clients if a house has a past. So,
Ethical. We like
yeah.
it.
hmm But this profile that they did on her, it doesn't give any like lurid details of houses that she's sold, but it did talk about her process. Um,
Mm.
including the fact that she said she has always had what she calls a sensitive awareness of paranormal
Mm.
activity. So she grew up in a house that she believes was haunted because the
Oh.
faucets used to turn on, there were apparitions, unexplained noises, and so she's been in tune with it for a long time. And because of
Mhm.
that, her first step in selling a home is always to go there herself and do basically a reading, I guess, of
Hmm.
what might be going on there. And
Interesting.
she said that oftentimes with her clients, if she can tell them that the presence or whatever is in there is very gentle, they won't care and
Mhm.
they'll continue with the purchase. Um, but then she said very vaguely, kind of, and ominously, that some spirits do have to be removed. So
Oh.
I
Well,
don't know what that means.
the other thing I was thinking too, so like, okay, if her process is like go do a reading, see what the vibes are, and then tell your clients, like, so not everyone is a believer. So
Mhm.
I could imagine probably the majority, like a vast majority of people would be like, okay, whatever, like,
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
So I don't know. It feels almost like yeah, a gentle spirit obviously like wouldn't be bothersome even probably to me either. Like I don't know,
Mhm.
I may be a little like too sensitive to be comfortable with that, but like yeah, even like a bad spirit, like if she couldn't get it out or she thought she did and it didn't work, like
Uh-huh.
these like skeptics coming in like
Yeah.
chest puff just about to get wrecked by a
Uh-huh.
poltergeist.
Yeah. Yeah. It's it's all very odd. I mean, I don't know.
Super odd.
And maybe she only does this for people that are actually concerned, I assume,
Yeah.
but who
Well,
knows?
hopefully for everyone.
I mean, I don't
If
know
you're a
because
skeptic, get bent.
yeah. Well, maybe if it's a bad spirit, but if it was like
Yeah.
a gentle one, she wouldn't do
Yeah,
anything
that's
further.
true.
But
That's true.
Yeah, because she does go the extra mile, really. She has a friend who's a psychic, and she will call her in to help. They've performed seances in homes before. She's called rabbis, priests, whatever religious figure a buyer might
Mhm.
want to have involved to do a bless and assess, they called it, which is
Cute.
funny. Um,
Mhm.
and she even has hired people to stay in the house for a few nights so that they can be
Oh,
clear with the clients that nothing is going to happen after dark.
yeah. Like lure
So,
something out to a couple
yeah,
days later.
yeah.
Hmm.
So she's really involved in this process. So I guess that's why
Yeah.
she's never failed.
It's something that's like I that just made me think about is like so if you think about like I don't know, maybe I'll use like a demonic possession or haunting or something along those lines cuz they're so or a bad spirit just generally. I feel like they can be so intelligent, I guess, like
Mhm.
intuitive for sure. So it's like
Yes.
knowing what's going to scare you, playing
Mhm.
into that, especially demons. But
Mhm.
but they just like are like, "Oh yeah, this seems legit. This like random guy just moved in for 3 days." You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like how do they not see that coming?
Right. Yeah. I don't
But I guess
know.
maybe with gentle spirits, like if she does it with every spirit that they sense, like that does make that just kind of makes sense because even the gentle ones, like, hey, like heads up, there's some night activity, but it's like very mild, you know?
Mhm. Yeah. Because, yeah, I think that would be my first concern would be like what happens
Yeah,
here after dark.
100%.
Because,
The scariest time.
yeah, so I get that, but I still am not gonna buy a haunted house. I can tell you that
Nah,
much.
I'm good.
So, yeah, so that's Cindy. Um, and then I have some stories from other real estate agents. So this one is called A Gravestone and a Ghost.
Mm.
And I'm just going to read this straight from the
Yes.
site. So Liz Petsky of St. Joseph, Michigan, told the story of her very first client in real estate, which led to the sale of a haunted house and a happy homebuyer.
Mm.
I had a client who loved old homes. We were looking at an 1800s farmhouse that was now in a
Whoa.
downtown area, so it had a much smaller yard. As we were looking around the yard, he asked, "Is that a gravestone?"
Oh,
I walked.
casual.
Yeah. Is that a gravestone?
Is there a dead
Good
body on that property?
question. Yeah, great question. I walked over to get a closer look, and indeed, there was a grave marker in the corner of the yard. It was so old you could not read the inscription. My client was very curious about it, but not deterred. I made a mental
Wait,
note.
sorry. I just have a dumb interjection. They need to get that woman from Instagram who cleans
Oh, yeah.
the graves.
I love those videos.
Me too, the most satisfying
Yes.
videos, like, even
Yes.
better than, like, nail polish application
Oh,
videos.
yeah. Even
So
better.
good. Okay,
Oh,
sorry.
man.
You
Yeah,
need to get
no.
her, whatever her name
That
is.
was that was a good interjection.
It was necessary, I had to do
Mhm. Definitely.
it.
Okay. Let's see. So they couldn't read, blah, blah. Client was very curious about it, excuse me, but not deterred. I made a mental note to follow up on the legality of the whole thing. Nonetheless, we moved on. As we toured the home, I was in the threshold of the dining room and kitchen area. My client stood by the kitchen sink when the door from the kitchen to the back door, between myself and my client, suddenly slammed shut. He and I just stared at each other blankly, and I made some joke about a ghost. He ended up purchasing the home. I've checked in on him on occasion, and he says the home is definitely haunted and he has stories. Luckily, luckily it's a friendly entity and he's really into history, so he finds it fascinating.
I mean, if you're like, I really am seeking an old ass house built in the 1800s, like, okay, you get what you get, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. You have to accept that that's a possibility.
Exactly. And just quick plug for the gravestone repair lady. Her handle on Instagram is Lady Taphos, LadyTaphos. If you haven't seen those videos, they are so soothing. And
Yes.
also like what a beautiful thing to do. For and she like does a little like digging on who they were and what their life was like. And so it's like really
Mhm.
honoring their memory, especially of people who died like a really long time ago, whose gravestones are seemingly like not repairable. She comes in
Mhm.
and like works magic. So
Fixes it up.
check it
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, they are so satisfying. If you like cleaning videos, you will
Oh,
enjoy.
yeah.
Hang on, you say something while I clear my throat.
Okay. Now you talk, and then I talk. I know I'm clearing my throat a lot too. It's so dry.
It's so dry. It's
It's
yeah,
like I'm rusty and
winter.
crusty over
Yeah.
here.
No, thank you, winter.
This is not a
Um,
sponsorship, but do you use this stuff, CeraVe healing ointment?
I have the tub version.
Dude,
So
this is
yes.
like my mini travel one I just bought
Mhm.
since I'm home for the month. But I it literally says accepted by the National Eczema Association. And I'm like,
Except
yeah, you better
mhm.
be.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
some aren't. The fragrancy
Oh,
ones, I love them, but I
yeah.
just can't use them.
Hell no. I put this stuff all over my face.
Wow.
And I don't break out. Like, that's the thing that blows my
Yeah.
mind is, like, this really isn't an ad, so but it's in a
Well,
blue bottle. If you're dry as shit
mhm.
right now, like we are,
Yeah.
dusty, crusty
Yes.
hoes,
Mhm.
CeraVe healing ointment. It's
Yes.
figgity fire flames, brother.
Yep. And if you are like me and have the scaliest skin in the world, you can follow that up with Vaseline.
No, you don't layer. Do you
I
layer?
sure do.
I sure I sure do. I sure do, Chip.
That yep, that's something that my doctors have told me to do my whole life is you put the lotion on and then you put Vaseline on because it
Lock it
seals it
in.
in. Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
Oh. But
welcome to my world.
this is so much like Vaseline already.
Oh, is yours
It's
like an
like an
ointment? Oh, yeah,
ointment.
yeah. Okay, mine is a cream, so
Oh, okay.
that's why I wouldn't
I
put
put it
Vaseline
all
on top of that.
I put it in all my crevasses, and it helps.
Good idea. She's
Wanna
putting it
watch
on
me
her
do
nose
it?
right now while we're
Weirdly, I
recording.
get flaky in this little nook between, like, my nose and my eyebrow.
I get that too.
Oh, what a weird
I
place.
think
Maybe
it's
'cause I
from
miss it with
plucking
lotion?
eyebrows. I don't
But I
know.
don't pluck mine anymore. I just let them grow wild like
Mine
a
are wild
forest.
as well, but
It's
yeah,
fine.
who knows? Okay.
Maybe I miss it, like, when I rub my face, sorry. I rub my lotion into my face, maybe I miss that spot. Anyway, listen, we're dusty crusty, and we
Mhm.
have to discuss, so
Yeah,
please
okay.
continue.
Okay, here we go. This is the second story.
Okay.
So, it's called A Terrifying Figure.
Mm.
Um, Linda Austin of the Space Coast of Florida said she was showing homes to a family in a very upscale neighborhood when the unexpected happened. The home was full of furniture and no one lived there anymore. The furnishings were very dated and the home was very large and elegant. We were in the home and the husband was lingering behind in another room, so the wife and I stopped to wait for him. As we waited by the pool table, there was a family room across from us. As we looked up, a white figure glided across the room and out the side of the house where there was no door. It passed through the wall. It was a
Oh.
full figure. I screamed and the wife laughed. The
Oh.
husband the husband came running and we were in hysterics laughing at the situation. She was not bothered by it, but I was freaked out. As it was, they bought a home that had a story of being a bordello in another gated community.
Oh.
There wasn't anything going to bother this lady. She said, "We will just bless this home and make it ours."
Honestly, that probably would be my first reaction to you, like,
Did we really just see that?
yeah, like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. No. And with your real estate agent just
Oh
on a
my god.
casual house
Yeah.
tour. Yeah.
You're like, "What
Yikes.
the hell, Steve?
Why'd you bring me here?
Why'd you
Yeah.
bring me here?"
Yes. So then the third story is called Mystery at an Open House. Kevin Eford of Boca Raton, or Boca Raton, I think people say, Florida, told the tale of an open house that he held one rainy Sunday afternoon. The home was Mediterranean style and about 20 years old with a private indoor elevator. Because the weather was poor, only one tour was given. At the conclusion of the open house, I began shutting lights and locking doors starting on the second floor. I decided not to take the stairs down and got into the elevator. I was alone, or so I thought.
Oh, yeah, never a good start.
No. After entering the elevator, I closed the iron gate and hit the first floor button, waiting for
It's
the
like
very
an old
yeah,
elevator.
old elevator.
Oh, nope,
Yeah.
don't get in that.
No. So he was waiting for the very slow descent down. As the elevator started moving down, the bottom of the door became visible, and something caught my eye. It was a glimpse of someone wearing black shoes walking toward the master bedroom. A chill ran down my spine because the owners were out of town, and we only had one person show up to the open house who I personally walked out. Once the elevator reached the first floor, I raced back upstairs and searched every nook and cranny, but no one was there.
Oh, I don't like that.
No. So
Squatters. It's squatters.
maybe, but where did he go?
Yeah, no, I don't like that one bit.
Yeah. So those are some creepy real estate agent stories.
Oh god.
But then
Those are good.
I think I
Being
closed the
a real
tab.
estate agent just, like, inherently seems a little spooky. Like, you're in empty houses at night all the time that
Yes,
aren't your house, like,
it
houses that
does.
you don't know, that are either unfurnished or, like, staged, which always feels a little, like, cold and creepy.
Yeah, agreed. And also, not even from a paranormal perspective, but you never know who's going to show up to an open house.
No.
And like if you're a
Yeah, no, that's
female
so true.
real estate agent alone and there's not much traffic in there, and some weirdo
Yeah.
comes in, that's scary.
Ew, yeah, that is scary.
Yeah. So, okay. Now I have, let's see, a couple. So I wanted to call out this one because it was so enjoyable to read, but I won't read it because half of the charm of it is that it's a series of tweets and she uses a lot of gifs, whatever.
Oh, okay.
And so you need to have those for the context, so maybe we can share that on our Instagram too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Send it to me, I'll post it.
Yeah, it was basically this couple was touring a home to, I think, to rent, so not to buy. But the wife was like so charmed by everything. It was an old bungalow house, and she was like, what did she say? Something about like, I almost bought the devil's house because there was a nice garden or something like that. And it's just so funny. So I had to call that out, but I'll send you the link.
Oh my god, amazing. I love it. I love it.
I love it. Okay. Then I have one story from Reddit. Oh, no. Wait.
Yay.
One other call out is, I told you this earlier, but everyone needs to watch Unsolved Mysteries Season 3.
Oh my god, yeah.
The episode called, it's the second to last episode, and it was something about the ghost in apartment 14, I think it was called. And it was so good. Oh
my god.
I like want to just recount the story, but I won't. So that maybe we could talk about it after you watch it.
Yeah, let me watch it. We can talk about it next week. I will watch it.
Okay, it was amazing. All right.
I love it.
those were two tangents. But now this is from Reddit, of a person who actually bought a haunted house. And this was posted 2 years ago by Snoo Hobbies 7109. And it's called "We Accidentally Bought a Very Haunted House." So
Oh, that's
she
good.
did not know. Their real estate agent did not tell them. So
Rude.
this is quite long, so I'm going to try to paraphrase.
We got
so,
time.
In my town, a lot of the houses are old, so I've actually lived in many active places. But the house my husband and I bought 2 years ago is very, in all caps, haunted. And maybe not all by nice things. The house is 120 years old, but it was flipped, so it's also like it's brand new. It's really kind of odd how the old and the new have come together here. When we moved in, I felt such a lovely energy in this house. The flipper had told us he'd used this house to teach his son the business of restoring a house, and they'd spent 9 months bonding over it. So I felt,
Cute.
yeah, very nice. So I felt it was their energy that I was picking up on. Excuse me. He also told us that when he acquired it at auction, it had been badly vandalized as it had been empty 6 years. It had still been furnished. There was even still rotten food in the long dormant fridge. Gross. As
So
though,
gross.
yeah, as though the previous owners had just got up and walked away one day. For a long time, the only thing that would happen was that one of us in the family would suddenly catch a whiff of cigarette smoke. It would always be when the family member was feeling upset or anxious at something, and the cigarette smell would come with a deep sense of peace, sort of like someone was hugging or comforting us. That actually still happens. Normally, only one person in the room will smell the smoke at a time. About 6 months after we moved in, a car ran into our house. Yeah, yikes. Poor thing.
Oh my
It,
God.
yeah, it hit the wall where my husband and I were sleeping. FYI, yeah, seriously, shocking. So she says,
Oh,
FYI, being woken up by a car hitting right outside your bed sucks, in all caps.
yeah.
Yeah, I can
Jesus.
imagine.
Terrifying.
Yes, but the car penetrated the siding, broke the studs, cracked the drywall and the baseboard, but then it stopped. So it didn't even hit them
Whoa.
in their bed. And then I'm gonna breeze through this section. She has this weird series of like misfortunes just in life in general, not even just in the house. Like her brakes going out, she almost got hit by a fly ball at a baseball game in the face.
Whoa.
They adopted a dog who attacked their daughter. Just
Oh my God.
bad things were going on.
Which I feel like could be sort of like an energetic thing.
Yes.
Is that kind of what she attributes it to?
Well, she doesn't really attribute it to anything. It's just kind of like she's listing all of this
Oh, okay.
stuff, but I think the ending sort of wraps it up. She also had this, let's see, these serious bouts of nausea and feeling sick and like passing out. That was in the home. And then she says, I frequently catch glimpses of moving shadows. My dog sometimes lays on me and growls up into the air. Things fall off the walls at night in my daughter's room. Lost things get returned, which is nice. All trees die in our yard. I frequently wake up with blinding headaches. Not long after the passing out incidents, I mentioned the cigarette smell phenomenon on Facebook. A lady messaged me telling me she had grown up with best friends who lived there and the house has a dark history. If I wanted
Oh, what?
Yeah, so here's the story. In the 90s, a man named Norman, a very kind man and a chain smoker, died in my daughter's room of a brain aneurysm. Years later, his wife also died of an overdose of pain pills in the bathroom where I passed out. Yeah. We later went on to do more digging and met Norman's brother, who said there was also a fire in the house before his family owned it that killed a little boy. The brother said the last family had left because it was too active for them. The daughter of that family saw a shape of a man in her parents' bed and thought it was her dad napping, but found her dad downstairs watching TV. I do believe there is something bad here that has hurt former occupants, but I also think those same occupants stick around and look out for us. How many times, well, this mentions the things I skipped through, so we'll skip that. And might Norman's wife, Janet, just have wanted me to know what happened to her, why she passed out in the bathroom? Maybe I felt as she felt, but got to live on. Norman's brother said he loved this house. He lived here happily for decades. He says he was a wonderful person. He showed me pictures, and he, by golly, did have one of those faces that you can tell is just kind. I already knew by how comforted we feel when we smell his smoke. I'd love to know more about them, and especially the little boy who died. But one thing is for sure, the brother said Norman would love that we take good care of his home and what a loving family we are, so we won't be going anywhere anytime soon. And then she says, I'm laying by the wall, as in the one that got hit by a car, as I type. And she said, Norman's got me. So,
that gave me chills at the end. That's so sweet. Yeah, like some force like blocked the car from hurting them.
Yes. Yeah. So I think that like there's multiple entities in that house.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Maybe some bad, like she said, and then Norman is like this
protector,
kind protector, who comforts them, which is so sweet.
I love that.
But that's all I've got for today.
I love that. Those are such good ones.
Yay.
Okay, my turn. So mine, I have a lot of a lot of quick ones. Just because I think it's like they're just interesting. There were just so many, and I couldn't really narrow it down. So, some of these may not still be on the market because they were from October and November of this year, respectively. So they could have sold in that time. So the first one, so this is all through a realty group. This first set of 6 is all through a realty group called Bahnub, Bahnub Realty. And so their little intro I really like. What may look like a rather ordinary residence from the outside is actually a hotel plagued with supernatural occurrences. This guest house is located in historic Humbird, Wisconsin, and was once the focus of a local ghost hunting investigation after multiple reports from owners and guests of paranormal activity. So what lurks behind that unassuming facade? Click or scroll on to take a tour if you dare. Anyway, so this first one
Anyway,
is the Humbird Hotel Bar and Grill. It dates back to 1869, and once inside, the atmospheric interiors take hold, with chandeliers providing low lighting across numerous antique framed portraits and dark painted walls. The property hosts a bar, 6 hotel rooms, and its own residential quarters spanning 1,800 square feet. So the hotel itself is 5,500 square feet, and it is on sale. That's the part that's on sale, as are the ghosts that live there. So, Bahnub, who's the owner of Bahnub Realty, spoke to Realtor, like the publication, about an experience that the current bar owners had. Quote, they were sitting in the bar and there was this hanging light and started to move when they were sitting below it. One person got up and stopped it from moving and said he could feel the force of someone pulling it still. So he sat down and it began again to spin, which is really weird. But that's not all. The supernatural investigators of Minnesota, so this was the team that came in to investigate, have rather bravely visited the hotel on numerous occasions with tracking equipment and recorded some ghostly goings on. According to Realtor, a video from last year shows evidence of spirits roaming the halls, including a nurse carrying a tray, which could be linked to smallpox patients who died in the building. So there's record of deaths in the building.
Oh,
Very weird. This last one's
yes.
creepy as shit. Or not last one, but next part. In
Yeah.
another room, and the little header for this part is more than a spooky child's room. Because let's face it, children's rooms are kind of creepy.
They're spooky.
In another room, multiple guests have reported a male spirit that watches over people while child entities have been seen in other rooms. The so-called pink room apparently hosts more than just rose-colored decor, but also an unidentified creature that crawls down the walls.
No. No. Uh-uh.
Nope. No, thank you.
An unidentified creature.
Creature, like it's a demon.
Get out.
Okay, let's like call it what it is. It's a
Yeah.
fucking demon. Burn it.
Hellhound.
Hellhound. The main floor is currently being used as a bar and restaurant, as they mentioned, while the hotel rooms and living quarters reside on the top floors. There's no mention of the bar and restaurant being haunted, but the sale will come complete with the liquor license, bar items, furnishings, and fixtures. We need a stiff drink after staying here. So then they go on to tell a little more about, the rest of the details about the home, because they're actually selling these homes. So these are posted on their website to sell.
That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
They need
So
Cindy in there.
they need Cindy. Exactly. So the next one is in Enslin House, New York. Or it's Enslin House in New York. It is listed for $413,000, and which is like a steal. And the realtor's name is John Bevilacqua. So the next poltergeist populated property is in the heart of Westchester County, New York. Built in 1925, the so-called, quote, elegant, warm, and inviting. Oh my God. Sorry. My phone just really, really wanted to hop in there. Spooky. Ghost in the Machine. It was called, said to be elegant, warm, and inviting. An abode, as per the listing, is perhaps anything but once you step inside the porch of Enslin House. So, according to Realtor, the current owner, who is a, quote, intuitive alchemist named Michelle Bell, claims that her 4-bedroom residence plays host to no less than 9 ghosts and a gangster called John T. Legs, is his nickname, Diamond.
Amazing.
What's that, Legs? Making a feature of its paranormal entities, there's a well-placed boo sign that sits at the foot of the decorative wallpapered staircase. And it is not well decorated, this home. So $400K makes sense. Like dark wood with a fake fireplace, white walls, and bright blue trim.
Oh no.
It's bad. It's really bad. Sorry, John Bevilacqua, but it's bad.
Blue trim is a bold move.
Yeah. So the existing is like turquoise. The existing owner, Michelle, this home has actually been in her family for 6 generations and was once the home of a supper club that the gangster ghost Legs was a member of. It has ornate tin ceilings. Florentine doors and hardwood floors. The house maintains many of its original features, and let me tell you, it shows. According to Realtor, much of the paranormal goings on occur in the basement, actually. So if you decide to buy this place, avoid the basement. So that's that one. She doesn't like go into a ton of detail about like what the 9 ghosts and the gangster do, but whatever.
We can imagine.
We can imagine it. The next one is in Mississippi, U.S. Currently on the market for $938,000, and it is gorgeous from the outside, like gorgeous. 2 stories, has like a beautiful wraparound porch. Those like big, like, I can't remember what the style of home is, but it almost looks like the White House where it's got the big like pillars. It's
Yeah.
not a McMansion though. It doesn't look tacky. It's like a very like consistent design across the board, but anyway, it's beautiful. It's a 4-bedroom property in Canton, Mississippi. Has sweeping staircases, a grand facade, but if you delve a little deeper, you'll discover a seriously spooky history. So this is actually referred to as the Priestley House. So it was built by Dr. James Priestley in 1852. The property has experienced some strange goings-on since then. Since the doctor and his wife died in the early 1900s during an epidemic of yellow fever, it's become a decidedly haunted dwelling. The most recent owners have reported paranormal activity occurring in the spooky doctor's house and insist they saw the ghost of Susan Priestley, the wife, in the bedroom where she died. Others in the neighborhood are said to have seen her figure repeatedly standing at the windows.
Oh, that's just a classic haunted house move.
100%, like Conjuring status. Owners have also witnessed a piano playing on its own and candles falling out of their holders, which like that second part happens at my house all the time. So take it or leave it. But the piano seems weird.
Just kidding.
Ghosts in my like brand new condo.
Yeah. You
It's
never
been
know.
said, yeah, you really don't. That's true. It's been said that Susan Priestley got so attached to the home after her husband died that she simply didn't want to leave. So it's all said to be Susan, not the husband at all. So the next one is in Alabama. Sorry, I keep clearing my throat. I like cannot clear my throat.
That's okay. Let me know if you need me to talk while you clear your throat.
Now you talk and I. The next one is called the Kate Shepherd House in Alabama. It's on the market for $995,000. It's actually listed on the National Register of Historic Places, and it is in Mobile, Alabama, specifically, dating back to 1897. The remarkable Queen Anne home, it really is beautiful. So, like, the nearly $1 million price tag is tracks.
Okay.
Features exquisite yellow and green paintwork, stained glass, ornate pediments, and turrets across its facade, but it's the home's eerie history that's intriguing prospective buyers. Once a schoolhouse, creepy. Yeah. Back in the 20th century, it's been run as a successful bed and breakfast for more than 18 years, with visitors traveling from far and wide to spend a weekend in the historic home. Encompassing 4,200 square feet, along with 6 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms, there's plenty of space to accommodate guests, though not all are invited. Seemingly little has changed over the years in this regal living room with its sash windows and carved wooden hearths around. The home's current resident, whose name is Wendy James, has owned the property for 18 years, and she told a local TV station, WKRG News 5, that she and her husband share the house with a spectral visitor. Over the years, several guests have asked about the little girl running around the hallways, though no child lives in the home.
Spooky.
Theories abound as to who the little girl might be. Kate Shepherd, the home's namesake, ran a school from the house for some 30 or 40 years until her passing in 1952. So perhaps the ghost is a former student. Guests staying in Kate's sister Isabel's room have also reported seeing the apparitions. Isabel passed away in the house, but maybe wasn't quite ready to leave. Whatever the case, these ghostly visitors are said to be benevolent guests, so there's not a ton of cause for concern. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, there was something, just a historical thing that was kind of cool. There was a secret recently uncovered in the home's eaves, the discovery of the McRae papers in the attic, a collection of rare Civil War documents, drew international attention and even led to a feature on HGTV, If Walls Could Talk. So this home is like truly a historic place. So very cool.
That's cool.
And if you're into HGTV, there you go.
Yes, that's really cool. I never want a house that big.
No, I mean, it's literally a hotel. I mean, it's a hotel.
Right. If I have 12 kids, sure. But that's not going to happen.
You won't. Yeah. You won't.
No.
Um, yeah, too big, creepy, way too creepy. Okay, we're staying in Alabama for this next one. It's the Carlisle Martin House, and it's on the market for 1.1 million. It was built in 1858 for a wealthy cotton trader named Edward Kenworthy Carlisle. It's a 4-bedroom manse, and it is described as one of the best preserved examples of Italian villa-style architecture, according to the listing. It comes with a spooky story or two. So it is also a National Historic Landmark. It was added in 2004 to that list. It features original cross halls with 3 separate stairways, 3 wide halls, and 2 tower rooms on the 3rd and 4th floor. So this place is just like, I mean, they call it a manse. It really is. Like, it's gigantic. It can also be found in Catherine Tucker Wyndham's 1968 Children's Book of Ghost Stories. 13 Alabama Ghosts and Jeffrey is the name of the book. And I'm like,
For
hell
children.
yeah, Catherine.
That's surprising. Yeah.
She's like, start 'em young.
Yep.
I'm like, hell yeah.
Uh-huh.
So they go on to describe the house in a lot of detail because it's really beautiful. But to talk about some of the spooky stories. One story reports how the owner's daughter, Anne Carlisle, grew up in the hall, and her favorite place was the 4-story square tower. In love with a neighboring soldier, and upon hearing he had died in battle in the Civil War, she reportedly threw herself from the stairwell to the hall 3 floors below.
Oh, yes.
Tragically, yeah, by the time her father arrived at her side, she was dead. Some say her cries can still be heard in the tower.
Spooky. Sad
So it's
ghost.
believed, yeah, very sad ghost. But so it's believed that for prospective owners, they would have to brave a mourning ghoul in the tower.
Oh, a ghoul.
And then, yeah, a ghoul. And then the last one on this list is Earl's Hall Castle in Fife, in the UK, in Scotland. It's listed for 9.2 million US or 8 million pounds.
Whoa.
It is, yeah.
Pricey.
It is, and it's a freaking castle. It's set on 34 acres of land, so
Wow.
if you need some space to run around. It's an exceptional historic property. It's believed to have taken its name from the site of a hunting lodge, which was once owned by the ancient Earls of Fife, who were relatives of Robert the Bruce, King of Scotland. I know you have Scottish heritage. Do you know anything about the history of Scotland? Because I know literally nothing.
I don't know anything.
Like, oh, yes, Robert the Bruce, of course, King of Scotland.
Maybe I should learn about that because my family has a castle in Scotland, so I should probably know.
We should go visit the castle.
The Keith Castle.
Let's go. Let's just go show up and be like, I own it.
Yeah. They let Keith's in for free, so if you come with me, maybe
that's so
get you
cute.
in. Yeah,
I love that.
It was cool. It's beautiful. But
it's so cool.
It's like kind of in ruins, so it's more like visiting ruins / museum than a real castle, but it's cool.
Okay. Fairytale Castle is reportedly haunted by Sir William Bruce or one of his descendants, Andrew Bruce. A phantom figure is frequently seen in the bedroom formerly used by Andrew Bruce, and heavy footsteps are often heard on the staircase. However, that's not the only ghost figure that's been seen floating about. There have also been sightings of a servant girl and another figure who patrols the spiral staircases at night. Constructed in 1546.
Oh my god.
Old.
Ancient.
Right. Good thing they don't have earthquakes. The property boasts 10 bedrooms, 2 dressing rooms, and 6 bathrooms. 10 bedrooms. They don't, again, talk a ton more about the actual haunting, but it's truly beautiful. And one thing I forgot to mention about the very first one I talked about, which was the Humbird Hotel Bar and Grill, that paranormal investigators who I referenced in that little blip. They actually have their own website, and I went onto their website and they have photos of some of their evidence.
Cool.
So I'll include those too in our Instagram post because they're spooky. It's like a very clear figure coming into the frame, in the middle of the frame, and then leaving the frame, and it almost looks like someone like standing with like they're either their hands up, like outstretched up in the air, or like with their hands in their hair or like on their head. I don't know. It's weird.
Wow.
So I'll be sure to share that.
That's all I could think of. Somebody doing the YMCA.
YMCA. Could be. Who knows?
You never know what that ghost is up to.
So funny. Okay, I just have 3 more. So these are as of October. So these are a little bit less recent and may already be sold, but they're creepy. So this is actually from Rocket Homes. They did like a little roundup for Halloween. So the first is Los Feliz Murder House. Bum, bum, bum.
I feel like I've heard of that.
I would never want to live in a place that it's in Los Feliz, California, so probably near San Diego. Okay, I would never want to live in a place that's referred to as a murder house.
No.
Like, no.
Definitely not.
Oh, and just wait till you hear about the murder.
Okay.
On December 6th, 1959, cardiologist Harold Perelson murdered his wife with a hammer, then killed himself in their beautiful Spanish Revival home in Los Feliz, California. After the infamous murder-suicide, the home was sold but never lived in. In fact, the interior wasn't cleaned out for years following the incident, preserving that night in time and adding to the home's creepy aesthetic. Trespassers have reported finding old magazines and books, canned food, and cleaning supplies. Rumor has it that unwrapped presents were found sitting under a Christmas tree left standing in one of the rooms.
Wow.
Yeah. Today, I love how they try to turn this around. Today, the house is stripped completely to its studs, a perfect starting point for anyone looking to remodel the home's 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, and a 3rd floor ballroom.
Oh, wow.
Who the fuck needs a ballroom in a murder house? Yeah. Even better, the listing states that the property will come with exquisite plans designed by world-renowned architect Richard Landry that have been submitted to the city. So they're really trying to sweeten the pot with that.
Yeah.
The next one is the Dakota. New Yorkers may recognize this historic Central Park apartment building's iconic mix of architectural styles, while Beatles fans recognize it because of its history. Along with being the residence of John Lennon and Yoko Ono, it was the place where Lennon was fatally shot by Mark David Chapman in 1980.
So sad.
Throughout the building's existence, residents and staff have claimed sightings of a little girl, a crying lady, and Lennon. However, supposed hauntings and an alleged curse won't keep buyers away from the luxurious 9-room apartment for sale inside the building. The residence features 12-foot ceilings, original moldings, and city views from floor-to-ceiling windows. You may even have a famous neighbor. Past residents include Lauren Bacall, Judy Garland, and Bono. Yoko Ono still lives in the Dakota today. So
I didn't know that.
Creepy. Yeah. Creepy, but also cool.
Yeah.
And the last one is the Priestley House. Originally built in 1852, the Priestley House, located in Canton, Mississippi, has been meticulously restored to its original grandeur, right down to the historically accurate hardware and original dining room doors. The Canton, Mississippi home may even feature the original owners.
Yes.
This is one that I talked about in the last one, but I liked the way that they brought this one up again.
Okay, perfect.
Dr. James Priestley and his wife Susan, who both passed away inside the house. So the original one thought it was only Susan, but it sounds like there are more hauntings.
Yeah.
Other residents of the home have experienced hot spots, falling objects, not just candles, the appearance of a ghost woman, and a piano that played on its own. They go on to talk about like the historical nature of the home and how it's like in this like outstanding restoration, like it won an award basically for how they restored the home. So I feel like that one deserved a double dip, but those are my haunted real estate
spooky
stories.
Would you buy a house that's haunted? I feel like I
absolutely fucking not.
Do you think that you know anyone who would buy a house that's haunted?
Yeah, a ton of people who just don't believe in it at all. So they'd be like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'd buy a quote haunted
Yeah.
house. And I'd be like, your funeral.
Just wait.
Later.
Yeah.
You can come to me for dinners.
Right.
I'm not coming to you.
No. Definitely not. Not
no.
going.
Yeah, absolutely not. Well, that concludes this week's epi of Girls Gone Spooky. So
Yay.
we also never introduced ourselves at the beginning, but at this point, if you don't know us, we're gonna be better about it. But this one time we forgot.
Yep.
I'm Olivia, if it's unclear, and that is Amy.
I'm Amy. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Pleasure. Enchanted. It's a pleasure. Enchanté. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Girls Gone Spooky. And if you are a real estate agent or have bought a haunted home, holler at us at girlsgonespooky@gmail.com. Otherwise,
stay spooky.
Bye.
Bye.